Let's talk.
I am Anita Johnson.
And I'm Rayford Johnson.
Hello, I'm Lisa Black. I am Clara Faye Hart Rutledge.
I'm Linda Good.
And I'm Stacy White-Farron.
I'm William Isom.
I'm Jason J. Flack.
Well, my name is Valentina Gonzalez.
Hi, I'm Jessie Wang.
I'm Katie Hoffman.
My name's Teresa Hammonds. My name is Brittany Butler.
And I'm Michelle Treese.
My name is Kathy Walker.
Oh, hey everybody. I'm Ralph Martin.
I'm Carlotta Contreras-Cotterby.
And I'm Karen Sullivan.
Hi, I'm Ruth Taylor Reed.
And I'm Amani Bryce. And
Angie Fellers-Mason.
And I am Upanibia Fia Short.
Because if we don't ever communicate, how can I change somebody's mind if I don't really know what they're thinking? You know, we got to be willing to listen. I think one of the things I have come to know personally is that I need to be a better listener, right? I need to give people room to make a mistake in my presence, right? Just because they're white doesn't mean that they're my enemy because they don't understand my background and my culture, right? Because I know black people that understand my background and my culture. You know, let's be real about it, right?
Right.
We grew up differently.
Right.
And so I think one of the keys is that we learn to listen.
In North Junior High, by myself. Mm-hmm. Because we were there, but it was not our school. Mm-hmm. And that was made known not so much negatively, but if you're sitting in a classroom that you're used to sitting in a classroom with your peers, mm-hmm. with people that look like you, or your instructors are going to give you the information you need to pass that class. And now you're thrown into a situation whereas you're just there by yourself. Mm-hmm. And Sharon Brown Burke, and the late Betsy Street mm-hmm. Came to my aid and saw me sitting there.
I don't know them. Were they black folks, white folks?
White girls.
Wow.
It was what needed to be done, but there wasn't enough conversation, mm-hmm. as these conversations that matter, mm-hmm. to ready us for that transition.
She was invited to the White House by Abraham Lincoln in 1864. And while she was there, she stepped on a streetcar that was full of whites, and they tried to make her get off, and she wouldn't get off. So we think that Rosa Parks was the first.
Oh, no.
It was Sojourner Truth.
Wow.
Yeah. She said, no, I'm not getting off. And she stayed on.
I mean, honestly, like, we grew up seeing him on his porch in Russellville, being weird, like covered in paint. Or
Had dreadlocks before people knew.
He's like, and he was always like so kind and nice and would like show us what he was doing as kids. And then he would say, you know, he would do this African Appalachia thing. It was like, oh, and he would have like African art and all this weird shit. And it was like, okay, we can be a little different, and we could talk about like, what is this Appalachian thing? Like as a kid, I'm like, oh, what is this Africa thing? Mm-hmm. And so like early on, as a young person, seeing him and growing up seeing him, it's like allowed me to like dream and say, oh, I can actually, it's okay. Like it's fine to be weird and do what you want and create.
Actually, I always tell a story that the first time that I was like jogging, I had just moved in, and a car drives by me and they wave, and I was like,
you don't see that in Miami.
What did they do? Are they flipping me off? Like, I thought they were flipping me off. Like, I was like, I'm just running.
No one waves at you in Miami.
And then I realized, yes, people are waving because that's just like a thing we do here. Yeah. Like, we're nice to each other? What? Exactly. And so different from Miami and Boston, and so much more community focused, I think, which is what I really enjoy.
And you can't just take one generalization and say that's how it is. I mean, people have so many different perspectives, and they get those perspectives from their own experiences that you can't label just one person or one group of people, because they all have their own perspective and their own experiences that have created who they are and who their community is. And I don't know, it's just fascinating to think about. It's too big. It just kind of blows your mind when you start thinking about it.
Because I think that
when you dig deeply in one place, whether that's a little place like Vardy or a big place like a bigger place, not a big place, but a bigger place like Appalachia, if you dig down deeply in one place, you learn a set of skills that you can pick up and apply wherever you go.
I used to live with furniture, and there's like, they got Confederate flag and stuff all over the place. I delivered to a KKK convention once.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a washer and dryer, and we was going up the mountain. And when we stopped, the guy that was driving said, "Hey, you gotta stay here, okay? Don't go in there, and I'll do it myself." So he did, but he forgot something. I think he forgot something I needed. So I didn't know what it was, and I went in there because he forgot it was a tool. I got a tool. He needed a tool to tighten up the hoses. So I went in there and I gave him the tool, but then there's like these group of white folks. Forgive me. I didn't mean it that way. I don't mean that way. YouTube, I'm sorry. YouTube world, I don't mean it. Group of white folks, like, it's like unanimously, like at the same time, like turn their head, like, and, like stare right at me. And it was like real quick, but they didn't have their robes or nothing like that. But I mean, you can see it. You can see like they have flags with like, okay, it's like there's symbols, and it's like it's a circle, it's a white circle with like a cross in the middle. If you see those, stay clear from them. But then it was just real quick, and I went back and sat down, and he came back and he was like, "Hey, what was you doing?" I was like, "Well, I was giving you a tool." It's like, "Hey, man, that's the Klan. Don't go in there." And as soon as I got back and back to the office or the store, they called on me. They said I tried to steal something, or I stole like some drugs or something like that, or I put drugs in their room or something like that. Like as soon as we got back, but they knew it was a lie because they knew what it was. But I mean, it was crazy. It was.
It's almost like there's a new, like a renaissance of art, of black art, of BIPOC and black art. Definitely in our little corner of Northeast Tennessee, with people recognizing that they are artists. They're not just, I just do my little doodles or whatever. It's art. You're an artist.
People don't think of Appalachia and think about Black people or queer people. And this is a braggart, but we last year received an award of excellence from the Tennessee Association of Museums for our Black and Queer Appalachia exhibition series, because they exist. We exist, the BIPOC community in Appalachia.
Intimate partner violence has become so prevalent here in Tennessee. We've consistently ranked in the top 10 for having the most cases in this country. Last time I looked, we were number 6 in the country.
In the country.
In the country. What else I think needs to change are the stories that have yet to be told in communities of color. The stories that I have gotten and that have left my shoulders wet were, I'm not calling police, I don't trust police.
When Ann first approached me about Nancy, I had a few reservations about it. When I started acting, I said, I will never play a domestic. Yeah. I will not be an enslaved person. I will be a person of strength, a person who has luxurious things around her. I read the script, and then I started thinking about my mother, who had to pick 200 pounds of cotton before she was able to go to school. I started thinking about my grandmother, who raised 10 children during that time, still having to pick her own cotton. And then I thought about the other people who were just ticks, as cattle, just items. And I said, I've got to do it. I've got to do it for them. What other portrayal of strength can I have but for those women? And Nancy was my opportunity to do that.
First woman of color to ever play that role. Is that cool? Do you want to go shake her hand?
It's nice to meet you.
Now she may do the Ursula laugh right now. Are you ready? You ready? Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was great. Oh my goodness.
What a great way to spend an afternoon.
Yes, let's do this again. This is great.
Thank you to you folks for joining us, and thanks to the folks listening. Have a good one. Peace out.